Yo, what's good, guys? It's your boy Anime Mag Reviews, and today I got Black Clover Chapter 278 review. And let me just tell you guys, this thing was fire. And I know that I usually get these reviews out earlier, but I'm sorry for the delay, guys. Have a lot going on right now. But at the same time, it definitely was a treat just to watch this new chapter, or rather read this new chapter. So let's get right into it, y'all. The chapter starts off by apparently, I guess, Nacht and Jack, they're encountering Dante. And it actually starts off pretty hilarious because we see Dante just standing there while Jack is doing his slicing magic or his cut magic. I forgot what type of magic he has. You guys can comment down in the comment section below and tell me what type of magic he has, because I know that he's able to make like knives and stuff, but I guess it's like slashing magic as well. And so Dante's just standing there just taking it. And that is when it is revealed that Morris had apparently enhanced his healing magic, Dante's healing magic. So now when we see him taking all these slices, because when I first saw it in, like, I believe it was the Raws, I just thought like maybe he was using his gravity magic to alter space so that they were just avoiding him, but the slashes are going right through him, and Dante's just taking these things, and his healing magic is so just amazing now. And so we have to really give kudos to Morris, because he's doing an amazing job with just the Spade Kingdom right now and enhancing the abilities, especially with Dante. So who knows what he's done with Xenon and Vonica as well. And that is when Dante reveals that if there's anyone that could possibly hurt him, it would be that anti-magic kid, which of course he's referring to Asta. And the one key thing that I really did notice here was that the cut across Dante's chest is still there. So yeah, guys, like, anti-magic is really legit. I mean, this has been enhanced by Morris's science, and Dante has had his healing magic, and this cut is still here. It's pretty amazing. I know that I said that before in other videos, but just the fact that anti-magic has such this capability to just leave a permanent scar, a permanent mark on Dante, who is being enhanced by Lucifero's gravity magic along with his own healing magic, and then that was enhanced by Morris's science. That is just crazy just to think about. Like, Asta, his union mode is really going to be OP. Like, I just can't wait till it's revealed. I just know he's going to punish all the Dark Triad members. Like, they're going to be blown away. However, this fight really doesn't go as expected. Why? Because, hey, look, our boy Nacht, he has a plan. And so that is when we see Dante. He uses his gravity magic finally to essentially, he's almost like Palpatine with the Force. Like, he makes them just go down to the ground. And he actually makes Jack bend to a knee and get all the way down. However, our boy Nacht, he's able to use one of his Devil Union modes with, I believe it is the ox or the cow. And I believe that Nacht, his character, or rather the demons that he has, is based off of an old German folklore between a cow, a cat, and a chicken. I believe. I could be wrong about that. Oh yeah, and a dog. But I believe that he uses the cow demon. Like, I'm not exactly sure what we call it, but he then transforms into sort of like this Megazord here. I know that I was in this Discord and they joked around and said that Nacht is like Optimus Prime right now. However, although this transformation may not actually be like the best looking transformation, it definitely does its job because it's able to withstand Dante's gravity magic. And so that's the one main thing that I just realized here, was that, man, like a cow, if you think about like a cow in real life, or like an ox, a strong animal, like a really sturdy animal. So it lets us know that even in like the demonic realm, although the demons may not necessarily be on the same ranking scale, they have powers that can sort of like counter each other. So that's the one main thing that we just have to look at here. And yeah, Jack, he's still there, and Nacht just makes this little side comment. It's like, yo, that's all you have is just attitude and just height. And so immediately, I'm even myself, like, I was reading this and I was thinking, well, he must be referring to Dante. But no, like, he's actually referring to like Jack. And that's kind of the one main thing that we see like throughout this fight, is that Jack is actually like a liability to Nacht, because Nacht, he knows about the Dark Triad. But the one main thing that I do have to look at is that when we go back to the earlier, I believe it was panels in this chapter, Dante is pretty amazed that Nacht also possesses devil magic. I'm sorry, not devil magic, but a devil union mode, or is being possessed by a devil. So yeah, Dante is pretty kind of like behind the ball on other devil users outside the Spade Kingdom, which kind of makes sense, but also it lets me know that Nacht was pretty like low-key about his dealings in the demonic realm with these demons and the possessions as well, and the contracts that he was making. But in this scene right here, Dante pretty much reads my mind. He's like, don't ignore me. And that's the one main thing that we see with Dante, is that I think that he's pretty insecure now. And this pretty much had just proved it. It's like, even with him having all this power, he shouldn't necessarily be too concerned with what Nacht is saying to Jack. Like, you'll be thinking that he's just waiting for them just to, I guess, like maybe form an attack plan. And immediately, like Dante and Nacht, they come to blows, and pretty amazingly enough, Nacht is able to withstand these blows from Dante. Now, I'm not exactly sure what level Dante is really going to. He could be around maybe 60% here, who knows. However, judging from the panels, I think that he might be in 80%, but who knows. And he immediately goes to like his most powerful form. And Dante, he's like happy about this. He's like, look, entertain me until the door opens. And that's the one thing about the Dark Triad, is that, especially with like Vonica and Dante, they always want that work. Like, they always want the smoke. And even Dante, despite him being in this fight, like, he really wants Asta. Like, that's the one main thing that we just got to see towards the end of this arc. We got to see a rematch between just Asta and Dante. I just can't wait for that fight, because we know that Dante is going to give it his all and Asta's going to give it his all. And this lets me know that it's more than just like a personal thing with Dante. Like, he actually wants to enjoy the fight. So that's kind of like the kudos that I would have to give to Yuki Tabata. Is like, hey, look, Dante, he is like a maniac. He is an evil villain, but he does love a good fight, just like Vonica as well. And as the chapter really progresses, this is all about, at least like the second half of the chapter, it's all about Jack. And the one main thing that I really see with Jack here is that Jack, he doesn't like to be underestimated. Like, he doesn't like to feel like he's nothing. And so even with all of this, like, Dante, he just looks at Jack and was like, you're just a nuisance. Like, what are you even doing here? And Nacht, he's trying to protect Jack. Like, he's really trying to save his life right here, because Jack cannot really do anything. And Nacht is really trying to give this guy the best encouragement that he can throughout this whole entire fight. But I thought this was so hilarious. Like, Dante, shouldn't you be concerned about Nacht? But no, like, he really just wants to kill Jack outright. Because the one thing about the Dark Triad is that they really respect power. They respect power, and they respect pretty much you being able to master a level of violence. And that's the reason why they actually love Asta and want to fight him. Even Vonica wants to fight Asta. Xenon, I don't know about Xenon. I think he's like the odd one out of the siblings, the Zagratis siblings, but they pretty much, that's the only thing that they do respect, is some type of power and a good match. And when we get kind of like the flashback, we see that apparently Jack's father was just a commoner and a hunter. They aren't exactly nobles. Like, I thought that Jack was a noble, but that was actually my mistake. He's not a noble, he's a commoner. And his father was just like a hunter. And his father had always advised Jack, never hunt things that can basically kill you. Never hunt things that can give you such an obstacle to overcome that you might actually like die. And so the sad thing about Jack's story is that now we realize why he's kind of like messed up in the head a little bit, because unfortunately his father had died, and his father had apparently been mauled by a huge bear. Like, this bear was pretty big. Like, you guys are going to see it in this panel right here, but it's pretty sad for like Jack. Like, he's kind of messed up in the head for a reason, because I was always wondering, like, why does this guy just want to cut everything? Like, why is he so obsessed with violence? And that's when we found out that unfortunately his father did pass away. And let's look at this though. Our boy Jack, he was able to kill the monster that had killed his father. So that's like the ultimate like story right there for our boy Jack, is that he was able to avenge his father's death. And I'm kind of wondering in the back of my head, like, did he want to kill this bear because he killed his father? Or he just wanted to kill this bear just because he could prove to himself that he killed something that was bigger than him, that was stronger than him, like physically. And that's the one thing about Jack's like backstory that I saw, was that after this, like after he killed this bear, he's like, yo, I should become a magic knight. Like, immediately that just goes to his head, is like, yo, I gotta be a magic knight. And he did all this without a grimoire as well. Like, that's the one key thing that we have to just look at right there. So that's kind of also what I'm looking towards as far as the future with Yuki Tabata, when he expands these abilities for Jack. Because at the moment, I'm not really sure what type of spells he can really use, because all we've seen so far is just physical spells by Jack. Like, he's a close combat type of fighter. So I'm really trying to figure out, like, what else is Yuki Tabata going to make him bring out the bag. However, in this chapter, we did get a new form by our boy Jack. And I have to say, I actually like this form. He looks like a porcupine. It's pretty awesome just to see. And immediately he comes to blows with Dante. He's able to cut through the gravity magic. That's something that's pretty dope. Like, our boy is able to cut through gravity magic. He's able to cut through the force that Dante was applying on Jack. Now, how is this possible? I have no idea. Like, I'm starting to really wonder if Jack's ability is somewhat similar to anti-magic in a way, just cutting through something. But I kind of would be 50-50 on that, because with his magic, he's able to slice other forms of magic. But then again, anti-magic sort of does it all. It cuts through magic, dispels magic. I mean, the list just goes on. However, in this last panel right here, Dante, he hasn't learned his lesson yet. Our boy's still going to get clapped. He's still underestimating people. He still don't know what to do when his back is up against the wall. And eventually our boy Jack breaks through his defenses. He's able to slash through Dante, landing a pretty impressive blow. Not as impressive as Zosta's blow, but yeah, this thing is pretty intense right here. And the praying mantis art right there is pretty cool. So yeah, guys, overall I would give this chapter a 9 out of 10. I love the action. It was a perfect pace between action, dialogue, and even Jack's backstory, because that's something I was very curious about. Also the art right here with Jack. I mean, he looks like a demon his own self. Like, this is pretty cool. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching. As always, make sure you smash the subscribe button if you're new. Also click the like button as well, and comment down below and tell me what you guys thought about this video. I know it's pretty epic. I'm glad to see Jack's backstory. I just can't wait for more. And the Dark Triad, they got to turn up, because they keep taking L's all the time. Like, it just don't make no sense. Like, they got to do something. Anyway, guys, that does it for me. And as always, peace.